Top of the day to you guys out there. I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone and when I'm able to upload this video. I read a book once titled Our Husband Has Gone Mad. I am not sure of the author, and I'm also not sure if that title was right, but I remember I read a book once that have similar title. Our Husband Has Gone Mad. Where I'm going to talk about Wole Soyinka now that we're talking about books. You see, I will say Wole Soyinka is my senior colleague. I happen to be somebody in the English and Literature department. So I will say that Wole Soyinka is an icon, an inspiration because of his books. This was a man who was vast in poetry. Sometimes you have to look for an interpreter to interpret what he is saying. Even his book that have been explained, sometimes the explanation is even difficult to comprehend, to understand. So he's a man that has been vast in lexicon and the English language and the genres of the language. But there's something that I discover. When you're growing old, you're becoming to lose your senses. When you have passed the age of 65, 70, your senses begin to depreciate. Your IQ begin to reduce. Your intelligence begin to be lower. This is exactly what have happened to Wole Soyinka within the past 10 years. Wole Soyinka is a man that has beginning to lose that integrity, that consciousness. Harsh words on Peter Obi, on Ahmed Baba, Dati, and on the obedience. What was our crime? He said because the vice president of the Labour Party for the 2023 presidential election, that the vice president took his opinion about what the constitution says on the 25% or who should the elected person in Nigeria, the requisite, the requirement. But I listened to that interview by Ahmed Dati. The only thing Ahmed Dati did wrong was he was confident that what he was saying was right. He said that there was no need to go and interpret the constitution because the constitution is self-explanatory. That politicians see the law as a game and see the constitution as a puzzle to be solved. He said no, the puzzle, that's the constitution, as is clear that Tinubu is not supposed to be given. Tinubu is not supposed to be called the president-elect because he did not meet the basic of the constitution. This was his stand, and he was keen. He was sure about his opinion. I think his only crime was he insists that he was right, and that is something a man should be confident on. What you're saying is the truth. Other people might disagree with you, fine, but that's their opinion, not yours. So Baba Ahmed Dati did not do anything wrong for insisting that what he was saying was right. But what did Wole Soyinka came to do? Wole Soyinka came to call him a fascist. He said what is unbecoming. And he said that what he said was enough to sprung out grievances, agitation, to set the country on fire. Professor Wole Soyinka, this is my question to you. What INEC did, is it not enough to set the country on fire? Is it not enough to set the country on fire? Thank God for Peter Obi that has told Nigerians there is an alternative. We will go to court. And that is why Nigerians are keeping quiet. What INEC did is enough to send that country ablaze. Is enough to split the country. Is enough to bury Nigeria. is enough to kill democracy. So, Wole Soyinka, you have gone mad. Our husband has gone mad. You are my husband because I see myself as a student of the English literature. So I see you as a husband and you as a father. Gone mad to call those who claim that they won an election and are going about telling us that we have to obey what the Constitution said, that INEC was wrong, because the Constitution says once there are disparities, a man that has not fully fulfilled the requirement should not be called as the president-elect until all matters are solved. Baba Dati Ahmed came out and said, please don't swear this man in because he did not meet the requirement and that the Constitution was clear. We know the Constitution is based on interpretation. My interpretation might not be yours. But Wole Soyinka, is it enough for you to call him a fascist because he has a different opinion from you? Remember, you were given in charge of the road safety in Nigeria, and you could not even do 2 years as the director of road safety before road safety was embodied with embezzlement, with corruption. Remember what IBB told you, that he gave you a fraction of a sector and you could not manage it. You could not manage road safety. That was a fraction of a sector. And yet you have the balls to come out and call Ahmed Baba Dati a fascist. Indeed, our husband has gone mad. Indeed, Wole Soyinka, you've gone mad. Yes, but I was surprised. Why will you do such a thing? And the only answer I got from your body language is that you are begging, you are soliciting for a minister of external affairs. That is what you are begging for. That is what you are begging for. A minister for external affairs in a government that is not legitimate. That is the truth. Even if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is swallowing tomorrow, that government is not legitimate. Your being part of that government does not make it legitimate. Because why? You have lost your senses. You have lost your integrity. And you have lost morality. What's your prize? A ministerial post? I weep. You that used to be once the pride of Africa has become a shame to the world. I use this medium to advocate professor be taken away from you. You does not deserve the right to be called a professor, because a professor is supposed to be a man that have broad knowledge, broad idea, a man that will put himself to accommodate different points of view. You were supposed to come on an interview and try enlighten Baba Ahmed Dati why his point of view was not the right, or why you think his point of view was wrong. Not calling him a fascist, calling him a usurper, calling him different kinds of names. Indeed, our husband has gone mad. Well, if it's the first time you're seeing this video, this is TV. We are global and social commentators. Remember, here we are Obi-centric. We are for Labour Party. We are for Peter Obi. And we are for Ahmed Baba Dati. But we are not blind. We listen to criticisms as long as it is objective. We listen to other people's point of view. And that's why here we always ask you, comment. Let's hear your point of view. Remember, life is like a two-way traffic. We'll teach you and you teach us too. We'll ask you to please, if it's the first time you're seeing this channel, subscribe. This is TV. Please subscribe. After you subscribe, just press the notification bell button so that each time we upload video, it comes directly to you. And now for our returning subscribers, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, we love you, but God love you most. The case is in court. We are waiting that for once the judiciary do what is right, equal, justice for all. Remember, the symbol of justice is a woman blinded with a scale in one hand and a machete in the other hand. The law is not a respecter of person. The scale weighs the evidence, and Labour Party has enough evidence. And that is why we are confident that at the end of the day, Peter Obi will become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And for those who are our returning subscribers, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, we love you, but God love you most. Until we catch you when we make our next video. And as it is the culture here, we'll say, chooks, adios, au revoir, ciao, hasta la vista, bye-bye.